Have you ever noticed how certain women can walk into a room without saying a single word, yet somehow everyone notices them? It isn't because they're wearing the most expensive dress. It isn't because they have the loudest voice or the brightest smile. Their power comes from something far deeper, something invisible that cannot be bought, borrowed, or copied. It is the quiet language of etiquette, the kind that turns ordinary moments into unforgettable impressions. The world often teaches us to chase attention, to speak louder, move faster, and prove ourselves at every opportunity. But truly refined women understand a different truth. They know that respect is never demanded. It is earned through consistency, grace, and the way they carry themselves when no one is applauding. Their elegance is not a performance. It is a habit that has become part of their identity. Every gesture tells a story. The way you greet someone, the way you listen without interrupting, the way you respond instead of reacting, and even the way you leave a conversation all reveal far more about your character than any designer label ever could. These seemingly small details are the invisible signatures of women who naturally inspire admiration and trust. The beautiful part is that elite etiquette has nothing to do with being born into privilege. It is not reserved for royalty, celebrities, or the wealthy. It belongs to anyone willing to cultivate discipline, emotional intelligence, and genuine respect for themselves and others. Refinement is a choice repeated every single day until it becomes effortless. Today, you're about to discover 15 etiquette hacks practiced by women who effortlessly command respect, create meaningful connections, and leave lasting impressions wherever they go. These are not outdated rules meant to restrict you. They are timeless principles that elevate your confidence, strengthen your presence, and transform the way the world responds to you. Once you begin applying them, you'll realize that true elegance isn't about looking expensive. It's about becoming unforgettable. True elegance always begins long before anyone notices your clothes, your accessories, or your appearance. It begins with the way you value yourself when no one is watching. Elite women understand that self-respect is the foundation upon which every graceful habit is built. They do not seek validation from strangers because their confidence is rooted in the standards they have set for themselves. This inner respect shapes the way they speak, walk, make decisions, and treat the people around them. They know that if they fail to honor themselves, no amount of luxury or social status can create the image of true refinement. Self-respect reveals itself in countless everyday choices. It is reflected in keeping promises to yourself, arriving on time, maintaining good posture, speaking honestly, and refusing to compromise your values simply to gain approval. A woman who respects herself does not change her personality to fit every room she enters. Instead, she brings the same authenticity, kindness, and dignity wherever she goes. She understands that consistency is more impressive than perfection. Elite women also recognize that saying no is not rude when it protects their peace, time, and principles. They understand that boundaries are not walls that push people away. They are healthy limits that preserve emotional balance. They do not feel guilty for declining invitations that don't align with their priorities or relationships that drain their energy. This ability to choose wisely reflects maturity rather than selfishness. People naturally respect those who respect themselves enough to protect what truly matters. Another powerful sign of self-respect is emotional control. Life brings criticism, misunderstandings, and unexpected challenges. Yet refined women rarely allow temporary emotions to dictate permanent actions. They pause before reacting, choosing thoughtful responses instead of impulsive words. They know that anger may last for a moment, but careless speech can damage a reputation built over years. Their calmness is not weakness. It is evidence of inner strength and discipline. Self-respect also influences personal presentation. This does not mean wearing expensive brands or following every fashion trend. It means dressing appropriately for the occasion, maintaining good hygiene, and taking care of your health because you recognize your worth. Looking polished is less about impressing others and more about honoring yourself. Even the simplest outfit appears elegant when worn with confidence, cleanliness, and grace. Elite women never measure their value by comparison. They celebrate the success of others without feeling threatened because they understand that another person's achievements do not diminish their own. Instead of competing for attention, they compete only with the person they were yesterday. Their focus remains on growth, learning, and becoming a better version of themselves each day. This mindset creates a quiet confidence that cannot be imitated. Respect for oneself naturally extends to respect for others. A woman who values her own dignity does not gossip to feel important, belittle others to appear superior, or seek attention through unnecessary drama. She chooses words that encourage rather than destroy, listens with genuine interest, and treats everyone with courtesy regardless of their position or influence. Her character remains steady whether she is speaking to a CEO, a colleague, or a stranger because true refinement is guided by principles rather than circumstances. Quiet confidence is one of the most powerful qualities an elite woman can possess because it doesn't rely on applause, compliments, or constant recognition. It comes from knowing who you are without needing to announce it to the world. While many people believe confidence must be loud, bold, and attention-grabbing, true refinement often speaks in a softer voice. A quietly confident woman doesn't need to dominate every conversation or prove she is the smartest person in the room. Her calm presence naturally draws respect because it reflects security rather than insecurity. One of the clearest signs of quiet confidence is the ability to listen more than you speak. Elite women understand that listening is not a passive act. It is a powerful form of communication. They pay attention, make eye contact, and allow others to express themselves without interruption. Instead of planning their next response while someone else is talking, they remain fully present. This habit not only makes others feel valued, but also allows them to gain knowledge and understand situations more clearly before responding. Quiet confidence also appears in the way refined women communicate. They choose their words carefully, avoiding unnecessary exaggeration or emotional outbursts. Their voices remain calm and steady, even during disagreements. They don't raise their volume to win an argument because they know that wisdom carries more weight than noise. Speaking with clarity, kindness, and purpose leaves a far stronger impression than speaking frequently without thought. Another characteristic of quiet confidence is comfort with silence. Many people rush to fill every pause because silence makes them uncomfortable. Elite women understand that silence can be elegant. They don't feel pressured to constantly entertain others or prove their intelligence with endless conversation. They know that thoughtful pauses show composure and confidence. A well-timed silence often communicates maturity more effectively than 100 unnecessary words. Women with quiet confidence never chase validation. They don't constantly seek compliments, approval, or reassurance about every decision they make. Instead, they trust their judgment while remaining open to learning and improvement. They appreciate praise when it comes, but they don't depend on it for their self-worth. This independence makes them emotionally stable and resilient because their confidence comes from within rather than from the changing opinions of others. Quiet confidence is also reflected in body language. Elite women stand with good posture, walk with purpose, and maintain relaxed, natural movements. They don't fidget excessively, avoid eye contact, or display nervous habits that reveal self-doubt. Their gestures are controlled, their smiles are genuine, and their expressions remain warm without appearing desperate to impress. These small physical details create an impression of calm authority that people instinctively respect. Perhaps the most admirable quality of quiet confidence is humility. Truly refined women don't feel the need to boast about their accomplishments, wealth, education, or connections. They allow their actions and character to speak louder than their words. They celebrate their successes with gratitude rather than arrogance and acknowledge that there is always something new to learn. This balance between confidence and humility makes them approachable, trustworthy, and genuinely inspiring in a world where many compete to be noticed. Elite women understand that lasting influence doesn't come from demanding attention. It comes from carrying yourself with dignity, treating others with respect, remaining secure in your identity, and allowing your consistent actions to reflect your values. People may forget loud voices and flashy appearances, but they rarely forget the calm strength of a woman whose confidence is rooted in character, wisdom, and quiet self-assurance rather than the need to be seen or praised by everyone around her. The difference between an ordinary impression and a lasting one is often found in the smallest details. Elite women understand that elegance is not created by one grand gesture, but by dozens of thoughtful habits repeated every single day. These habits may seem insignificant on their own, yet together they form a powerful image of refinement, reliability, and grace. While many people focus on dramatic transformations, truly sophisticated women know that consistency in small actions is what shapes how others remember and respect them. One of these habits is punctuality. Arriving on time communicates far more than good time management. It tells people that you value their time as much as your own. Elite women rarely make a habit of keeping others waiting because they understand that respect begins with consideration. Whether attending a business meeting, a social gathering, or a casual lunch, being punctual reflects responsibility and dependability. It creates trust before a single word has been spoken. Another subtle habit is remembering names and using them sincerely during conversations. Calling someone by their name shows attention and genuine interest. It makes people feel seen and appreciated. Refined women understand that meaningful relationships are built through thoughtful details, not extravagant gestures. They remember important dates, ask about previous conversations, and follow up on matters that are meaningful to others. These actions demonstrate emotional intelligence and create deeper personal connections. The way an elite woman handles everyday manners also leaves a lasting impression. Saying please, thank you, and excuse me may sound simple, but these words reveal kindness and respect. Good manners are never outdated because they make interactions smoother and more pleasant. Whether speaking with a senior executive, a coworker, a waiter, or a stranger, refined women maintain the same level of courtesy. Their respect does not depend on someone's social status or influence. Attention to appearance is another habit that quietly communicates discipline. This doesn't require expensive clothing or luxury accessories. Instead, it means ensuring that clothes are clean, well-fitted, and appropriate for the occasion. Shoes are polished, hair is neat, and personal hygiene is consistently maintained. These details suggest that a woman takes pride in herself and values presenting her best version to the world. Even the simplest outfit becomes elegant when worn with care and confidence. Elite women also practice the habit of keeping their surroundings organized. Whether it's a workspace, handbag, home, or car, order reflects a disciplined mindset. A tidy environment often leads to clearer thinking and reduced stress. It also communicates responsibility and attention to detail. People naturally associate organization with professionalism and reliability, making this small habit surprisingly influential. Another important habit is maintaining eye contact while speaking and listening. Eye contact shows confidence, honesty, and genuine engagement. Elite women avoid constantly checking their phones during conversations because they understand that giving someone your full attention is one of the greatest forms of respect. In today's distracted world, being fully present has become a rare and valuable quality. Their habits also extend to emotional discipline. Instead of reacting impulsively to every inconvenience, they pause, think, and respond with calmness. They don't allow frustration to control their expressions or words. This steady composure makes people feel comfortable around them and strengthens their reputation as trustworthy individuals who can handle challenges with maturity. Gratitude is another habit that quietly transforms both character and relationships. Refined women acknowledge kindness, appreciate opportunities, and express sincere thanks without hesitation. They understand that gratitude reflects abundance rather than entitlement. People are naturally drawn to those who recognize and value the efforts of others. Perhaps the most powerful habit is consistency. Elite women don't behave gracefully, only when others are watching. Their etiquette remains the same in private and in public because it is part of who they are, not a performance. They understand that character is built through repeated choices, and over time, those choices become a reputation that opens doors, strengthens relationships, and earns lasting admiration from everyone they encounter. Grace under pressure is one of the clearest qualities that separates truly refined women from those who simply appear polished on the surface. Anyone can remain pleasant when life is easy, compliments are flowing, and everything goes according to plan. The real test of character begins when expectations are challenged, emotions run high, or circumstances become difficult. Elite women understand that how they respond during stressful moments leaves a far greater impression than how they behave during comfortable ones. Their composure becomes a reflection of inner strength rather than outward perfection. Life presents situations that no one can fully control. There will always be criticism, misunderstandings, disappointments, and unexpected obstacles. Instead of allowing these moments to define them, refined women choose to manage their reactions with intention. They recognize that while they cannot always control what happens, they can control how they respond. This mindset allows them to remain steady even when everything around them feels uncertain. One of the strongest habits they practice is pausing before reacting. In emotional situations, many people speak without thinking, send messages they later regret, or allow temporary anger to create permanent damage. Elite women resist this impulse. They take a moment to breathe, gather their thoughts, and choose words that reflect wisdom rather than emotion. This brief pause often prevents unnecessary conflict and demonstrates remarkable emotional maturity. Grace under pressure also means refusing to match negative energy. When someone becomes rude, disrespectful, or confrontational, the easiest response is to react with equal intensity. Refined women understand that lowering themselves to another person's behavior never improves the situation. Instead, they remain calm, respectful, and composed. This does not mean accepting disrespect or remaining silent in the face of unfair treatment. Rather, it means standing firm with dignity instead of allowing emotions to take control. Calm confidence often has more impact than the loudest argument. Another defining quality is the ability to accept criticism with maturity. Not every criticism is fair, but every criticism offers an opportunity to learn something. Elite women do not become defensive over every comment or mistake. They listen carefully, evaluate whether the feedback is useful, and improve where necessary. If the criticism is unfair, they don't waste energy trying to convince everyone otherwise. They trust that consistent character will eventually speak louder than false opinions. Difficult situations also reveal how someone treats others. Under stress, many people become impatient, dismissive, or harsh toward those around them. Elite women make a conscious effort to remain courteous, even during busy or frustrating moments. They understand that kindness shown during pressure carries greater value than kindness shown during comfort. Whether speaking with family, coworkers, service staff, or strangers, they refuse to let stress become an excuse for poor manners. Patience is another essential part of grace. Refined women know that not every problem requires an immediate solution or emotional reaction. Some situations improve with time, thoughtful reflection, and careful decision-making. They avoid rushing into conclusions or making impulsive choices simply because they feel uncomfortable. Their patience communicates confidence in their ability to handle challenges wisely rather than emotionally. Perhaps the most admirable aspect of grace under pressure is resilience. Elite women experience setbacks just like everyone else, but they don't allow failure to define their identity. They learn from disappointments, adjust their approach, and continue moving forward with quiet determination. Instead of seeking sympathy or dwelling on what went wrong, they focus on what can be improved. Their resilience inspires respect because it shows strength without bitterness and confidence without arrogance. True refinement is never measured by how gracefully someone celebrates success, but by how calmly they navigate difficulty. The woman who remains respectful when criticized, patient when delayed, composed when challenged, and kind when tested, possesses a level of elegance that no title, luxury item, or social status can provide. It is this unwavering composure that quietly earns trust, admiration, and lasting respect wherever she goes. Refinement is often misunderstood as something that can be purchased, inherited, or displayed through luxury. Many people associate sophistication with designer handbags, expensive jewelry, elegant homes, or exclusive social circles. While these things may create an appearance of wealth, they cannot create genuine class. Elite women understand that refinement is not an outfit you put on for special occasions. It is a lifestyle reflected in your daily choices, habits, and values. It is present in the smallest moments, long before anyone notices the labels you wear or the possessions you own. A refined lifestyle begins with self-discipline. Elite women recognize that excellence is built through consistent routines rather than occasional effort. They make their bed, keep their spaces organized, care for their health, and honor their commitments even when no one is watching. These everyday habits may seem ordinary, but together they reveal responsibility, maturity, and respect for both themselves and others. Refinement is not about doing extraordinary things once in a while. It is about doing ordinary things exceptionally well every single day. Another important part of refined living is continuous learning. Truly elegant women never believe they know everything. They remain curious about the world, read books, develop new skills, and seek meaningful conversations that broaden their understanding. They realize that intelligence becomes even more attractive when paired with humility. Instead of trying to impress others with how much they know, they remain eager to learn from different experiences and perspectives. This lifelong commitment to growth makes them more interesting, adaptable, and confident over time. Refinement is also reflected in personal integrity. Elite women keep their word because they understand that trust is one of the most valuable qualities a person can possess. If they make a promise, they work to fulfill it. If they make a mistake, they accept responsibility instead of making excuses. Their honesty remains consistent, whether the truth is convenient or uncomfortable. This reliability builds a reputation that money alone could never buy. People naturally place confidence in those whose actions consistently match their words. Relationships also reveal whether refinement is truly part of someone's lifestyle. Elite women choose kindness over gossip, encouragement over jealousy, and understanding over unnecessary judgment. They do not enjoy humiliating others to make themselves appear superior. Instead, they celebrate the achievements of friends, support people during difficult times, and treat everyone with genuine courtesy, regardless of social position. Their respect is never selective. Whether speaking with a business executive, a neighbor, or a waiter, they extend the same dignity and consideration because they believe every person deserves respect. A refined lifestyle includes emotional balance as well. Elite women understand that emotions are natural, but they do not allow emotions to control every decision. They practice patience, forgiveness, and resilience. They know when to speak, when to remain silent, and when to walk away from situations that no longer serve their peace. Rather than reacting to every criticism or disagreement, they focus on protecting their character. This emotional stability creates an atmosphere of calm wherever they go and encourages others to trust their judgment. Another sign of true refinement is generosity of spirit. This does not always mean giving expensive gifts or making large donations. It often appears in much simpler forms, offering sincere compliments, expressing gratitude, sharing knowledge, encouraging someone who is struggling, or showing compassion without expecting recognition in return. Elite women understand that generosity is measured by the heart behind the action rather than the cost of the gesture. Their kindness is genuine because it comes from abundance within, not from a desire for praise. Perhaps the greatest lesson is that refinement cannot be switched on and off depending on the audience. It is not reserved for formal events, important meetings, or moments when people are paying attention. It is woven into everyday life in the way a woman speaks to her family, handles disappointment, cares for her responsibilities, and treats strangers she may never meet again. Her elegance is visible not because she tries to appear perfect, but because her values remain consistent in every situation. Over time, these repeated choices shape a reputation that stands far above appearances, proving that true sophistication is never defined by what a woman owns, but by the character she lives every single day, through every decision, every interaction, and every quiet moment that reveals who she truly is.